Okay, the second perspective in learning about personality, we can look from humanistic perspective. So under humanistic perspective, we are going to look at how Abraham Maslow's approach discuss personality development. Then second, we are going to look at Carl Rogers' approach. And third, we are going to evaluate how humanistic approach discuss about the development of people or individual personality. Okay, humanistic perspective stress on a person's capacity for personal growth and positive human qualities. Okay, if you recall back for psychodynamic, they talk about consciousness and they talk about focus more about neurosis or abnormal behavior. Okay, humanistic focus on personal growth and positive human qualities. People, according to humanistic perspective, have the ability to control our lives and to achieve what we desire, okay, to achieve our goals, okay, to achieve our vision, purposes. Humanistic perspective contrasts with both psychodynamic perspective and behaviorism. Okay, like I mentioned just now, psychodynamic focus more of unconsciousness and neurotic behavior, while behaviorism focus on the stimulus and response, how people personality has been conditioned through classical conditioning and how people learn personality through operant conditioning. Humanistic theories in this sense sought to move beyond Freudian psychoanalysis and behaviorism to capture the more positive aspect of human nature. In some books, they explain that humanistic psychologies basically emerged because of psychoanalysis theory. Why? Because still many people go against or disbelieve with what Sigmund Freud have introduced and the neo-Freudian has introduced. So they believe that actually humans are capable of looking into more positive aspect. Then they establish humanistic psychology. Okay, if you remembers about Abraham Maslow, one of the most famous concept or theories that Maslow's introduced is self-actualization. Okay, what is self-actualization? Self-actualization, according to Abraham Maslow, is the motivations to develop one full potential as human being. So according to Maslow, self-actualization is the highest hierarchy of needs that will make people behave in certain way. And these behaviors will demonstrate or manifest people personality. Okay, Maslow describes self-actualizers, okay, people who have achieved the highest level of potential as spontaneous, creative, and possessive or childlike capacity for awe, okay, for impressive. Self-actualizers maintain a capacity for peak experiences. In order for us to understand about self-actualizations, we need to go back to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Here, originally Maslow introduced that every human being strive to achieve, strive to fulfill their needs. Okay, the first one is physiological needs. The second one is safety needs. The third one, love and belongingness needs. The fourth one, self-esteem needs. And the highest one, self-actualization needs. So according to Maslow, once or an individual will not be able to achieve self-actualizations or any higher needs if they do not fulfill the lower level needs first. So in here, it will differentiate people behavior, people personality based on what they strive to fulfill. Okay, if people who are struggling, who are at the levels of want to achieve long and belongingness needs, this is where people who seeks to find intimate partners, okay, relationship with to have to get married or to have husband or wife. While people who are at the stage of self-actualizations, their behaviors will be directed towards contributing to the next generation, contributing to the community. Look at the overall or general goodness for a human being. Okay, so it will differentiate people personality. Why? Their aims, their goals in their life is different. Okay, so this is basically the original concepts of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, beside Abraham Maslow, another important figures in humanistic approach is Carl Rogers. Carl Rogers believed that we are all born with the raw ingredients, okay, with the potential of fulfilling life. We as a human being just need the right conditions to thrive. In other words, everyone have the potential. Everyone have the talents. So we just need to polish this talent, but the requirement is we need to be in the right conditions. Okay, according to Rogers, all of us human beings, we have an innate sense of whether an experience is good or bad. Okay, all of us have this innate, this is tendency, this is disposition of us to differentiate whether our experience is good or bad. And all we need is to, in order for us to achieve the highest level of self-actualizations, according to Rogers, all of us need positive regard from others. Okay, we need to be loved, we need to be cared, we need to be taken care of by our parents, by our caregivers, by people surrounding us. We need positive regards. Carl Rogers also believed in self-actualizations, the highest levels of need, the highest level of motivation. However, in order to achieve that, Carl Rogers emphasized on this positive regard as an important factor. Okay, an important contributions of Rogers in this humanistic discussion of personality, development of human personality, is this raw ingredient. Okay, supposedly, if we all have the talent, if we all have the ingredients to fulfill our potential, to become the best version of ourselves, supposedly it's easy or it's not difficult for people to become happy with their life, okay, to have a happiness in their life. However, why there are a lot of people outside there do not feel happy with their life, do not feel happy with their personal as well as professional life. So this is where Rogers differentiate between unconditional positive regard and conditional positive regards. According to Rogers, we need unconditional positive regards to be able to fulfill our potential, to be able to achieve the highest need, self-actualization. Okay, in Rogers' term, for individual needs to be accepted, for individual needs to be valued, for individual needs to be treated positively, we need unconditional positive regards, where people accept us, accept who we are based on nothing, okay, based on no condition, no string attached. People love us unconditionally. Okay, on the other hand, if people put their care, love us with condition, with limitation, with certain restriction, then people will not be able to achieve self-actualization, to fulfill their potential. For example, if parents support fully their children's education, they will not put on condition. For example, you must become doctors, you must become engineers, you must become professional. Okay, that's why you need to be successful in education. In this sense, if the children have other interests, for example, in art, for example, in sports, they will not be able to achieve the highest levels of their talent to fulfill their potential in sport and arts because they have not been receiving unconditional positive regard. Instead, they are being treated with conditional positive regard. And according to Rogers, in order for us to receive these unconditional positive regards, we need to be in the condition of worth. We need to be valued by the others surrounding us, that we are valuable. It's worthwhile for them to give unconditional positive regard to us. So what is condition of worth? Condition of worth is the standards that individual must live up to in order to receive positive regard from others. Okay, we need to be in a certain situation, okay, so that people around us perceive, okay, these people can receive unconditional positive regards. And this situation and this aspect will impact our self-concept, okay, our belief about our own self-concept, identity, which have developed during our childhood. And our self-concept can be negatively affected by the condition of worth. Okay, because when we strive to be valuable, okay, in the eyes of people surrounding us, it may affect our self-concept. If we want to become a sportsman, but people surrounding us perceive that we need to become accountant, then we will have a conflict in terms of our self-concept. While explaining about unhappiness, Rogers stressed that in order for us to achieve unhappiness, we need to reconnect with our own true feelings and desires. Okay, the individual must experience a relationship with three qualities, okay, which are one, unconditional positive regards that we discussed just now. Second, these three need to connect with empathy as well as genuineness. Okay, it's not basically fake or people do not lie. It's genuine, it's truthful, and these three conditions must be made so that we are able to reconnect back to our true feelings and desires with our self-concept. Okay, the main difference between humanistic approach to discuss about human personality and the previous approach, psychoanalytic, is the focus of their approach. Okay, if we look back, the focus of humanistic is basically to help people to achieve their highest potential, to become the best version of themselves, while psychoanalytic always talk about psychosexual factors that are buried, that creates, okay, unconscious drive, which later shape our behavior and shape our personality. Okay, the way we perceive ourselves from humanistic perspective, as well as the way we perceive the world, is an essential element of personality. Okay, so humanistic approach is considered a more positive approach to the whole person. Okay, it's not only during childhood, it's not only during adolescence, but the whole of human life. And this humanistic perspective emphasize on conscious experience, not about unconscious. Conscious experience, something that we aware of our thinking, we aware of our emotion, we are in control of our behavior. And what make us shape our personality in this sense is because of our goals, that we want to fulfill our own potential, to be the best version of ourselves and to achieve self-actualization. So emphasis of humanistic perspective on conscious experience and to fulfill human potential. Okay, even so, this ideal approach or positive views of human nature have not been receiving well by all of these scholars or psychologists. There are some criticism addressed towards humanistic perspective. For examples, there are quite a number of researchers, psychologists who think that this humanistic perspective is too optimistic and disregard some important aspect of real life human disorders as well as mental disorders or problem of mental health, neuroses and everything. For them, it's too optimistic. As well as, according to certain or some scholars, they think that humanistic psychologists, they overestimate people's freedoms as well as people's rationality. Not everyone have those positive goals that they want to fulfill their potential. Some are very manipulative. There are some who have dark personality. Okay, and people who go or criticize humanistic perspective, they promote excessive self-love and narcissism. Okay, they promote Excessive self-love and narcissism means that people who think that they are the best in the world, narcissistic, and they love themselves so much that they think that everything about them are good. Okay, sometimes excessive belief in this sense would also give negative effects on one's self-concepts. As well as in this sense, when you are always talking about potential, self-actualizations and everything, people are not held accountable for negative behavior. So these are all of the criticism addressed towards humanistic perspective.